Have you ever had that sinking feeling in your gut that you're more of a tool than a friend to someone? That your generosity is being mistaken for an endless resource, and your support is just a stepping stone on their path? What if the most dangerous people in your life don't announce themselves with a warning, but with a smile? What if they've mastered the art of making you feel important, but only when they need something from you? Today, we are not just talking about fake friends. We are arming you with a field guide to see through the illusion. We will dissect 7 critical signs that scream someone is just using you, so you can stop being a convenience and start reclaiming your power. Navigating the often turbulent waters of human relationships is an art, one that requires intuition, experience, and a strong sense of self. Along our journey, we encounter a wonderful variety of personalities. Some enrich our lives in profound ways, while others, often subtly, only cause us harm. Identifying someone who is just using you can be a painful and confusing process, especially when we want to believe in the inherent goodness of others. However, recognizing these toxic attitudes is the single most important first step towards reaffirming your own worth and establishing the healthy, powerful boundaries you deserve. The foundation of this journey is one essential understanding. You deserve relationships that are built on the solid ground of reciprocity and mutual respect. If you've ever felt like an option instead of a priority, this is for you. Together, we will unravel the complex patterns of human interaction, so you can learn to protect your energy and cultivate a life filled with genuine connection. Sign number 1. Their availability is entirely selective. In the complex dance of human connection, this is often the first glaring warning sign. Selective availability becomes painfully obvious when someone is miraculously accessible and attentive when they need something from you, but strangely, infuriatingly unreachable when the roles are reversed. Picture this all too common scenario. You find yourself constantly playing the role of the reliable benefactor. You are the one who answers the late-night call. You provide the shoulder to lean on for emotional support. You offer favors without a second thought, and you dedicate your precious time and attention to their problems. You are their rock. However, when you find yourself in a vulnerable position, when you are the one seeking a bit of support or assistance, you are met with a wall of silence. Your messages are left unread. Your calls go straight to voicemail. Or, at best, you're met with a quick, dismissive excuse and a sudden change of subject. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a pattern. This dynamic creates a one-way street of emotional energy, where your effort and care seem to flow endlessly in one direction with no return. This behavior doesn't just reveal a lack of consideration, it shows a deliberate disregard for your needs and your feelings. Selective availability is a mirror reflecting an uncomfortable reality. This person is present in your life only when it is convenient for them. This imbalanced scale is a breeding ground for disappointment and resentment. Recognizing this reality is a vital step. It forces you to ask the hard question: am I in a mutually enriching relationship? Or am I just a convenience store for someone else's needs? This is where your self-respect must come into play, challenging you to reassess your boundaries and demand the reciprocity you deserve. Sign number 2. The conversation is always a monologue. In the fabric of any genuine relationship, a distinct and powerful pattern emerges: authentic, mutual interest. True friends and sincere companions are characterized by a real curiosity about our lives, our emotions, and our experiences. They celebrate our joys and support us in our challenges. However, a stark contrast emerges when dealing with someone who is only using you. With them, the conversation always seems to have a singular focus: themselves. This person rarely, if ever, asks about your day, your feelings, or your aspirations. Think about it. When was the last time they asked you a meaningful question about your life and then genuinely listened to the answer? The discussions, when they occur, inevitably revolve around their own experiences, their own dramas, and their own needs. The conversation is not a dialogue, it is a monologue, and you have been cast in the role of the silent audience. This dynamic reveals a disturbing disconnection. You begin to feel that your voice and your story only hold value when they can somehow serve the other person's interests. Your role in the relationship is reduced to that of an unpaid therapist or a resource for their own convenience. This absence of curiosity and empathy is a flashing red light, a telltale sign that your value to this person is conditional on what you can offer, not on who you are. This realization can be painful, but it is crucial for preserving your own dignity. The lack of personal interest is a clear signal that it's time to reevaluate the connection and seek environments where you are valued and respected in your entirety. Sign number 3, they wield guilt as a weapon. Within the spectrum of human interactions, this next signal emerges as a grim and insidious warning. The use of guilt as a tool for manipulation. This dark art can manifest in many ways, but its core purpose is always the same: to coerce you into acting in accordance with the manipulator's wishes, against your own better judgment. Consider this scenario. You frequently find yourself in situations where there is a subtle, yet intense, pressure to say yes to requests or demands that make you uncomfortable. Perhaps the other person skillfully plays with your emotions, using your kindness like a puppet master pulls strings. You'll hear phrases like, "If you were really my friend, you would do this for me," or the classic, "I guess I thought we were closer than that." These words are not expressions of friendship, they are sharp emotional weapons, aimed at exploiting your empathy. These manipulation tactics are poisonous because they are often disguised under the cloak of normality or obligation. They are designed to make you doubt your own perceptions and feelings, leading you to question whether it's your responsibility to give in. This is dangerous territory, where your emotional integrity and self-esteem can be gradually eroded with each yes you give. Healthy relationships flourish in the fertile ground of trust, mutual respect, and the freedom to express your own needs without fear or pressure. If you find yourself frequently entangled in the clutches of these manipulative strategies, it's time to recognize you are not in a healthy relationship. This is an act of self-assertion, where you reclaim your right not to be manipulated or guilt-tripped for choosing what is best for you. Sign number 4, a pattern of disrespects becomes the norm. In the mosaic of any meaningful relationship, respect is the essential grout that holds everything together. It must be constant, and it must be a two-way street. A true friend or a loyal companion honors this principle with actions that reflect mutual consideration and esteem. However, a person who is using you will habitually disregard these fundamental boundaries. Imagine yourself frequently facing situations where your carefully made plans are cancelled at the last minute with a casual text. Or perhaps the other person is consistently late, or worse, doesn't show up at all, leaving you waiting. It often seems there's an unspoken expectation that you should mold your life, your time, and your energy to their conveniences and whims. This pattern of neglecting your needs and devaluing your time is a glaring indicator that you are being undervalued by this person. One cancelled plan is an accident. A consistent pattern of them is a message. These attitudes, when viewed collectively, weave a tapestry of behavior that screams selfishness and a profound lack of consideration. It's vital to recognize that we all have fallible moments. What differentiates a person who is using you is the persistence of these actions over time, combined with a total lack of acknowledgement or effort to change. Recognizing this pattern is a crucial step in safeguarding your emotional and mental well-being. These first few signs are often about their outward actions, how they treat your time and your conversations. But what about the more insidious signs, the ones that happen inside your own head? the ones that subtly erode your self-worth and make you question your own reality. That's where we're going next, and it's where the real danger often lies. We've covered the overt signs of a user, how they disrespect your time and dominate conversations. But some people are more subtle. They don't disrespect you openly. Instead, they build a beautiful, hollow facade, a relationship that looks real from a distance but crumbles the moment you lean on it for support. This brings us to the next insidious sign. Sign number 5. The connection is a mile wide and an inch deep. This sign is particularly dangerous because it masterfully masks the true nature of the relationship under a cloak of friendliness. A person who is using you will instinctively avoid forming a deep, meaningful, and vulnerable connection. This behavior manifests through an interaction that almost never goes beyond the surface level. In this type of relationship, you might start to notice a strange pattern. Your conversations revolve around trivial topics, funny memes, and surface-level events. You shy away from diving into deeper or more personal subjects. They keep their own vulnerabilities well guarded, and their true emotions are kept under tight control. It's like there's an invisible barrier that prevents the relationship from ever developing into a more intimate level of trust and camaraderie. The relationship feels stuck in a perpetual initial state. Even after a considerable amount of time, you might have a sudden, chilling realization that you don't truly know this person beyond their superficial facade. This is a clear sign that, for them, the relationship is not a priority, nor is it a pathway to a genuine sharing of experiences. You are a pleasant acquaintance, a useful contact, but not a true friend. Recognizing this superficial dynamic is essential for your emotional health. It's an invitation to reflect on the value and depth of your connections. Are you investing your time and energy in fertile soil, capable of nurturing mutual growth? Or are you clinging to a shadow of a connection that will never materialize into something more substantial? This realization serves as your guide, allowing you to protect your peace of mind and seek relationships that offer true reciprocity and depth. Sign number 6. They are a ghost in your storms. In the journey of life, the essence of a healthy relationship is often revealed not on the sunny, easy days, but in the heart of life's storms. It is during our periods of adversity, a serious illness, a personal loss, or phases of intense stress, that the true character of a connection is put to the ultimate test. Imagine facing one of these challenging moments. You expect to find support and understanding from someone you consider a friend or partner. However, instead of a helping hand, you are met with a void. The person is noticeably absent. Perhaps they offer a few superficial words of consolation, a quick, "hope you feel better," text. That sounds more like a formality than a genuine gesture of empathy. This pattern of behavior, where emotional and physical support is notably scarce or non-existent in your times of greatest need, is an alarming indicator. It reveals that the relationship is heavily one-sided, with you investing emotionally while the other person conveniently evades their turn during times of reciprocation. Their absence in your crucial moments is a mirror reflecting the true nature of the relationship. It's not just about them not being physically present, it's the lack of empathy, the emotional unavailability, and the chilling indifference that speak volumes. This lack of support not only wears down the emotional fabric of the relationship, but also raises serious questions about its intrinsic value. Sign number 7. Your inaction becomes their permission. Realizing the presence of these concerning signs is a vital first step. But what truly defines the future of these interactions is how you choose to act upon these findings. If you do nothing, your silence is not seen as patience. It is seen as permission for the behavior to continue. To cultivate healthier relationships, you must learn to protect yourself. This begins with establishing clear and firm boundaries. Learning to say no is not an act of aggression, it is a fundamental aspect of self-respect. When you feel uncomfortable or pressured, communicating your boundaries clearly and directly is crucial. Defining and firmly maintaining what is acceptable to you is how you preserve your emotional health. In situations where you feel used, open and honest communication can be a powerful tool, but it must be done strategically. It's not about accusation, but about calmly and clearly expressing your reality. When you cancel our plans at the last minute, it makes me feel like my time isn't valued. This approach presents facts about your feelings without starting a fight, and it gives the other person a chance to understand the impact of their behavior. Finally, seeking support for yourself is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Talking to trusted friends, family, or a professional can provide a much-needed outside perspective, as well as the support and guidance to navigate these emotional complexities. Throughout this journey, we've identified the key signs of an unbalanced, exploitative relationship, but the goal is not just to become an expert at spotting fake friends. The ultimate goal is to build an unshakable sense of self-worth that naturally repels these types of people and attracts genuine, reciprocal connections. Remember this fundamental truth: your value is not defined by how others treat you. Your value is intrinsic, and it is reaffirmed by how you choose to treat yourself in the face of disrespect or consideration. You deserve relationships that are built on a foundation of mutual respect. Our mission here is not just to share information, but to build an arsenal of self-respect and wisdom. If you are ready to stop being a resource and start being respected, if you are committed to building a life filled with genuine connection, then your journey with us is just beginning. Subscribe to this channel and join a community of individuals who are mastering the art of human relationships, starting with the most important one, the connection to themselves. Until next time, know your worth and act accordingly.